What is up, everyone? Volathis here, and Final Fantasy XIV has released the patch notes for patch 4.57. Now, as I've discussed prior, this is going to be a smaller patch, but this does include the world visit system. That's the big takeaway from this. And the first thing that they talked about, we discussed this in a previous video, which will be down in the description. So apparently now, as I prompted in my previous video on the Legacy of Alog, here, that when you log in, if you still have the quest, they're going to prompt you to abandon it and accept it again. Basic overview, they changed it from being fates to get the items you need for this quest line to just killing certain enemies. So that is a thing. And then for the housing, the automatic demolition of estates on Aether and Primal data centers was suspended in October 2018, but they've resumed the auto demolition here with the release of patch 4.57. And with the house demolition, basically, if you don't visit your house after so long, you're going to be getting an email saying, hey, you don't go to your house, we're going to take it away, and then after so long they'll remove it. So make sure you're not forgetting about your player house. And then with the battle system here, the Reef of Snakes Extreme has been moved from the Raid Finder to Duty Finder. The weekly restriction on Alphascape crystalloids available as completion rewards and Alphascape has been removed. And then the strength of the Echo has been increased for Deltascape and Sigmascape. It's been raised to 20%, and Alphascape it has been raised to 15%. The Auburn Monastery, there's no weekly restrictions anymore for the rewards as well as the coins from it. So if you want to get those items, you can go ahead and just keep farming it. And then Skaven Esther, used to strengthen Allegan Tombstones of Genesis, can now be obtained from Ischina and Rolger's Reach in exchange for items, and you exchange the coins from the various alliance raids in there, and then you can speak here. And then with Eureka Pagos now, the amount of violated Aether gained from notorious monsters has been increased. The probability of obtaining this Aether gained from defeating the enemies of level 40 has been increased as well. And the probability of getting ballroom etiquette insufficient petticoats when you appraise a gold wrapped lockbox has been increased. And as I discussed in another previous video, we got a glimpse of the armor. Season 13 of the feast has started, and I went ahead and double checked this. I'm only able to check the Abe's attire because I have a male character in Final Fantasy XIV, but they added a set bonus to it, and for this you want to wear all 4 pieces. If you're under 30, you get +4 to every main stat, as well as let me check my notes here, a 30% increase on XP. And I assume for the High Summoner attire it works the same. That is the female version of the Final Fantasy X armor. It is for Titus and for Yuna. And then of course the big thing with this is the world visit system here, and saying that as long as it's within your data center, you can go ahead and switch over to there. And this feature, they're going to make an update to it, or at least the guide for it. It's actually today they're making a guide for it. And then all you have to do to visit is you select visit another world server from an Aetheryte in the locations, and that is the original big 3 cities, Limsa Lominsa, New Gridania, and Udal. In some cases you may have to wait before your transfer, and when your character is ready to be transferred, a window is going to display, and they're showing it right here and showing the world you're coming from, and the one you're going to. And there are a few restrictions here. Depending on the congestion of the target world, it may take several minutes, and transfers will occur automatically and cancel all current actions and duties. You cannot use the duty finder while waiting to transfer, and you cannot move to another area while waiting on the world visit system. So ideally for that, obviously you want to, if If you're going to be waiting a bit, just AFK for a bit or something, just don't leave the zone. It says an icon will indicate when you're visiting another world. So with the top one of Frankfurt here, that looks like the home world. It has kind of like a house symbol, and I assume the Exodus one is when you are visiting, although above it looks like it's reverse, but it doesn't say here. Restrictions, certain features are unavailable. So while you are transferred, if you're discipline of the land, the gatherers, legendary and unspoiled gathering nodes are inaccessible. For your retainers, you cannot summon them at all, hire or release them. You cannot put items on the market board. You can purchase from the market board, but you cannot sell other items. And an ill-conceived venture, which is the venture quest, sorry, that is your retainer quest, can only be accepted from your home world, and those quests come from Gridania, Limsa, and Udal. Free companies, you cannot form or join any. Free company information cannot be viewed. There will be a login status, though, that will display that you're on a different world, and company credits cannot be earned. I'm assuming that is you just can't contribute to it, versus like if you go on a different world, no one can earn them. So that I would take away from that only the people in the home world can earn those credits. With the link shells, you cannot use or send or receive messages. Link shell information cannot be viewed, and link shells cannot be created or joined. With houses, you can't go to another world and just purchase a house. That's implied. And there's no resident sharing, so you can't have the freebie with that with your friends on the other server. And there's a quest, bird in hand. I'm assuming it's related to housing because it's in this category. I can't remember off the top of my head. One unfortunate thing, though, with the eternal bonding, you can't visit other weddings on other servers, unfortunately. And those quests are unavailable, and other ceremonies cannot be attended. You cannot enter into Gold Saucer tournaments for Triple Triad, Lord of Verminion, and CACBot tickets for obvious reasons. Deep Dungeons, you can participate, but your results are not saved to the leaderboards. With the Moogle delivery system, aka the mailbox, you cannot use it. You will receive a notification that you're visiting when a letter has arrived. So it looks like you will get, I'm misreading that. So notifications from GMs will be displayed instantaneously. All notifications receiving when visiting a world will be indicated with a red letter icon. So you are going to be notified, but you can't check the messages. With the teleport, the eternity rings, which is the marriage rings from the eternal bonding, may only be used when both players are on the same world. So you can use them on different worlds, but you have to be on the same world together. And you can use the Aetheryte pendulum to teleport to the nearest Aetheryte if both players are on the same world. You can only teleport to a friend's estate when you are on their home world. And there is new world and preferred world bonuses. Bonuses will not be applied for visiting new worlds or preferred worlds. So you can't just stay on the popular one and go to a new or preferred one to get those bonuses. You have to be transferred there. And with the chat log with this, it'll display your name and your home world when in chat. If their home world is the same as yours, it will not be displayed. So when you're on your home world, you're not going to see that, but when visiting, you will see that. And then they're talking about the 3 American data centers. I've broken down this previously, not going to go in a whole lot of detail. The server backup function, save backups of characters, settings, and clients to the Final Fantasy X server. It's now available, and you can download those. And then some resolved issues where in some instances of some buffs and debuffs not correctly applied to characters under certain circumstances. And an issue that certain items by proceeding through patch 4.56 main scenario quests were not available for purchase from journeyman salvagers. And a known issue is Certain conditions, having a friend from another world with an identical name prevents you from using the house sharing feature while that friend is visiting your home world. It's a interesting known issues. Um, but like I said, the big takeaway from this was the home visiting world system. I'm going to have probably a bunch of links down below because a lot of this stuff I've already kind of covered previously. And I feel like instead of spending a lot of time going over that, I can provide you with focused videos. But comment down below, what do you think of the world visit system? I might be playing around with it mostly to help with the testing for Shadowbringers, which is doing the Ixion Fate, which once again is another video I talked about. They talked about a lot of these features that we're not going to have in the world visiting system. The big surprise to me was that they decided to update the Final Fantasy X gear to have set bonuses, which also makes me wonder in the future they will be adding it to the Mog Station, because if I remember correctly, these are Final Fantasy FanFest from 2016-2017 rewards, so you cannot get them in-game or from the Mog Station. I even did a quick double check, so I'm wondering if eventually this will show up on the Mog Station. I think they did that for the previous FanFest, but let me know in the comments down below what you think of all this, as well as share this video. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because I do cover Final Fantasy XIV content related videos, as well as some single player games. And as well, it's been a pleasure. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.